shit, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
get irritated and triggered, and then I'm gonna start yelling.
Look at the smirk. You already know what he about to say.
I already know what he about
I
to
have
say.
nothing. I have nothing wild to say
I
at all.
don't,
Man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tish, Chris, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for sure. Was a good though podcast bonus episode. We are here to discuss the highly anticipated House of Dragons, the Game of Thrones. Would you call this a spinoff or a prequel?
Prequel.
Prequel.
Prequel. Got it. Game of Thrones prequel. Um, man, I'm excited. I just saw the trailer, so I'm hype off of that. Of course, Jazz is a day one Game of Thrones
Let it be
fan.
known. Let it be known.
Listen, I gotta let the people know.
She
So
don't get no. She don't get a dragon because she's a day oneer. She
If
don't get any
dragons were
special
alive,
cookies.
I would, and you would not. Just saying. And just to let you know, at the cookout, my dragon would not charcoal your fucking food. You just gotta wait for that shit to be on the grill, and I'm gonna get my shit charcoal.
Good thing I know how to cook, and I don't have to depend on you or a fucking dragon.
I might have my dragon burn your ankles just because.
just the
and they
ankles?
gonna start and they gonna start calling you legless, my nigga. Like you gonna be on nubs. Like you gonna have cankles. No feet. I'll send you a picture.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Jazz is passionate. Listen, Jazz is passionate about Thrones, so they want. She
You
had to
would've
wait.
sw- you would have swore she fought for a throne or something. Like what the fuck?
I mean, hey man, look. She had to wait a year. John died, and she had to wait a year. I'd be passionate too.
Chris, don't trigger me.
Oh my bad.
Please don't.
They should have kept him dead.
Yo, Jason is on a mission. Jason, bonus episode.
Me and Jason about to trade places because Jason gonna be talking shit about Thrones the way I was talking shit about DC the other week, and him and Bruce. So I'm already getting this energy together. So like I'm ready for you, Jason.
Ooh, let's go.
Ready.
Ready for war. So yeah, Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it, I have no idea why. It's one of the best TV shows out there. HBO Max, you can check it out. If you have seen it, then I hope you'll enjoy this bonus episode we got for you. House of the Dragons, a little bit of recap of Game of Thrones, and then we just gonna run into it. What we're anticipating from House of Dragons, maybe some characters that could pop up, just theories, all of that good stuff. Jason, what's up? What's up now?
Ain't nobody gonna put. Well, you know what? I take that back, Jazz. I'm gonna let y'all get it. You're right.
Yeah.
There could be some allusions to people, but ain't nobody could pop up. I take that back.
I think it won't be people popping up. I think it will be certain things will be referenced.
Yeah.
Definitely callbacks from the original series. So
okay, so that's better. Yeah. That's better verbiage. So references and callbacks. I'm gonna try to stay neutral because Jazz is very passionate about it. I am too, but Jazz is. No, I just no.
You know he is. He is. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if we want to do that, I can go in. So, Jason.
Oh, I mean, we here. Let's go.
Oh, okay. What?
He's laughing. He ain't saying shit.
Oh, yeah. All right. Keep him up. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Jazz. Game of Thrones, one of the best TV shows of all time. What are you looking forward to the most as we get into House of Dragons? Of course, it seems like it's going to be primarily focused on the Targaryen family, but other things can happen. When you saw the trailer, I guess, for the first time, what popped out at you?
I think it was just some of the characters to reference, because when you look at the Game of Thrones series, you only get Daenerys and her brother as like living Targaryens, and then of course he dies, RIP, and then she dies. Spoiler alert. But then again, if you don't know by now, I don't know what the fuck you been. Yeah. But we just to get the microscope on them, I thought was dope. And we don't have to deal with any kind of Lannisters. We don't have to deal. We might get some Starks, but earlier years, and I think definitely earlier years that were mentioned even before Ned started talking about his brother and then the war of everything. So I'm definitely excited to see, and I think we'll get some new introductions to houses and just seeing how the Targaryens operated before the Mad King.
Yeah, of course, the Mad King. Jason, what do you anticipate? You saw the trailer as well. Anything stick out for you?
But this nigga.
Jason is the villain today.
I'm just
absolutely.
I'm gonna be so like I said with me. I wasn't the hugely invested person when it comes to the throne. So with this being a prequel, like I'm not super into the lore. We do know um, there was only two Targaryens left outside of the reveal of the third one that we found out, at the end of the actual series. So going into their history, just figuring out who they were, how they came up, and like I want to say, I don't like in the actual story. I think Cersei was the first woman who took the throne, right? So in Game of Thrones, she was the first woman that took the Iron Throne, right?
That I cannot speak on. I do not know. So I'll have to follow
So
up with that.
going into this one, the one of the major plot points right now is the the conflict of the throne going to, well, the Targaryen house going to a woman. And it seems like the people aren't with that happening. So that's, seeing how that conflict plays into it, and just me assuming, kind of see how or why the Targaryen house was torn apart just based on them within, because people get jealous and how it plays out within your family. So somebody else feels they're the rightful heir to something, although, and then especially when it comes to the olden time, talking about a woman in power, and how men, egos, pride, think how that plays out. So I'm interested to see, where that storyline goes and how that turns out.
Yeah, and of course we mentioned it's a prequel series. It's taking place 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. So yeah, it could be some fairly recent callbacks. The main one I'm anticipating the most, and I really want to hear about, is the Mad King. I know 300 years is a long time. I don't know how they're going to tackle the show chronologically, or like time jumps or anything like that. But that's something that I really want to anticipate. I'm hoping this is a longer running show. Of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the first season will be 10 episodes. So I think that'll be give us a chance to cover a lot. Of course, the Targaryen Civil War, or they call it the Dance of the Dragons, which is just a fire name in it itself. That's just got me hyped. Jazz, anything else, about the show that you may be anticipating outside of the Targaryens, or maybe something that you want to pop up?
I will say a few things that I would definitely love to see in this new series is the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they were introduced in Game of Thrones, we were able to get somewhat of a history, and the children are the ones that created the White Walkers.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times during the Game of Thrones series, we heard everyone having discussions like, oh, we haven't seen the White Walkers in thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically made it seem like the White Walkers were gone, even though we came to find out at the end of the series, season 8, White Walkers, well, actually the whole series, we know the White Walkers weren't gone anywhere, but they were referenced. It seems like the timeline could match up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely love to see a hint of the White Walkers, even if they're not doing anything, even if they just out there over the wall killing niggas like they always do. It is what it is. Like, oh, okay, they go White Walker, cool. I would definitely love to get a reference of the White Walkers and also the children and grayscale.
I like that.
So I think grayscale definitely be a good callback of something, because we learned a little bit about the Stone Men,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe in season 5. So because Stannis' daughter, Princess
Right.
Shireen, had grayscale. R.I.P. to
Mm-hmm.
her. R.I.P. to the OG. So I think just some of those callbacks, and then getting new areas on the map. Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna get the Bravos? Like, so just keep things like that.
Yeah, traveling a little bit. You think possibly we could get any type of references to the Stark family? Because they were such a prominent, figure in Game of Thrones. So it seemed like they want to shift it a little bit to the Targaryens, but of course in Game of Thrones we got a little bit of, Targaryen story. Do you think they'll sort of reverse roles in this one and sort of get like a little bit in the Stark family?
Yes, but I think it will be a situation to where the Stark household will not be the main one.
Right.
It will be a situation to where maybe a low level family married into another family that had more power, but the last name of the male was Stark.
Right.
To where we find out who actually was in charge of Winterfell. It was before the Starks got there, because it's 300 years. So like those kind of levels of position could and families could definitely change, especially
Yeah.
like we might of course go south, like the Freys,
That's what I was getting ready to say.
The
Martell.
Martells, like
That
all of them.
that
So
would get me so hype if they like it doesn't even have to be like a major thing, but just like a little reference, like, hey, this random character is like from the Martell family or something like that.
yeah,
That
that's
would be
why I actually like prequels, and I know Jason is a big fan of requels, but I feel like it's easier to make a prequel because you kind of already have your layout set for you. You're
Mhm.
just building on top of that and adding
Yeah.
more context. So I'm
Speak,
excited.
yeah. And we talk about prequels, Better Call Saul is one of the better prequels. So just based on what?
Why did he drop that, Jason?
No, I'm getting to a point. Because of
I
how
knew eventually he was gonna get
no,
get to a great prequel series of a great show.
Like, yikes.
wait, time out. You said that with a little sauce, like you
I didn't
implying
watch
something.
neither one of I didn't watch neither show, so
Oh,
I can't say what's great and what's not. I'm just
oh, I
saying
thought you was trying to imply.
I know how you felt about Breaking Bad. I know how you felt about Better Call Saul. Is it done now or is it still going?
Last episode is will be finishing soon. But the reason I brought that up is because of what Jazz mentioned, how you're able to build off a previous show. So Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad, but the way that they integrate all of the characters into it, it was done so well. And then Game of Thrones, of course, is another great series. So when Jazz brought that up, that brought me to Better Call Saul and like the possibilities of this show, like building on the characters, the stories, of course, different places they could go to, so many houses, like the families and everything. That's got me excited too. Um, George R. R. Martin, is he involved in this heavily, or what do you know about that, Jazz? Like, is he going to be? Uh,
Chris, you
uh-oh.
asking me questions you know the answer to already. And I'm surprised Jason didn't even react because Jason knows the answer to this as well. We already talked about this.
It's for the podcast. I know, Jazz. I just want conversation.
Yeah. I mean, he is involved and he's been commenting. He was quiet. He was on mute mode 4 years ago
Yeah,
when Thrones ended.
yeah.
But now I know he's pushing a new series that he is involved in. The more you talk about it and try to compare it to the last project that you were involved in, if you saying some negative shit, it gets clicks. So, because he basically said that he was not really much involved in season 5 and 6, and he damn sure wasn't involved in 7 and 8. Jason, let me get your opinion. Out of the Thrones seasons, which one was your favorite? Just one. Why are you laughing?
Five
It,
five is
Five.
my favorite.
Chris, which season was your favorite out of
season,
the 8?
season 6 is my favorite.
Oh, okay, that's dope. So back to what I was saying. Because a lot of people say between 5 and 6 was the best era of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'll keep my opinion because I enjoyed the entire show. 8 could
What's
have
your
been
favorite?
better.
What's your favorite season, Jazz? Is it
Oh,
seven? Is it 7 or 8? I doubt it.
I'm definitely not gonna say it's 8 because 8 had too many hiccups. I was just like, come on, y'all. 7?
Making you look bad out here,
Nah, they QA department, damn sure. Like, look, y'all hiring.
Yeah.
Y'all need
Like,
somebody to look over this footage real quick. But during my rewatch, I'm on season 5.
mhm.
So I can't say which one is my favorite. It definitely wasn't 8, like at all. But I gotta see where was he more emotionally invested in. But I think the last thing that I saw was the episode where Sansa got married
Oh,
for
to
the second
Ramsey.
time.
Yeah, to Ramsey. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
She fucked me up.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about the trailer for House of Dragons and how one of the key points was a woman taking the throne. And then you look at Game of Thrones, you see how women were treated. Like they were pretty much, meant to marry or they were, whores or whatever. So it's
Property.
that's what they were, property, give me kids so we could continue the power of the household. So that should be a fun little plot point. Jason, we talked about season 7 and 8 of Thrones. Uh, Give us a little bit of your thoughts about those because you looking like you wasn't really into it when Jazz brought it up. So you're not feeling season 7 and 8?
huh? Man, so when they come, okay, so watching Game of Thrones, like story building, world telling, and it's going, and like I said, it's like after season 6, like season 6 went out on a high. This is season 6 is Cersei blowing up the church, right?
Yeah.
That's season. So going into season 7, it was just like I don't know where they can go. Cersei is the leader of the
Westeros.
Westeros. Yes. So it's just like I don't know where they can go from here. And like I said, and at this point, this is when they introduce the whole story of the missing Targaryen child, or the whore, that was who Ned was messing with, and how that entire story and everything played out. So, like I said, for me, it's just like seven was cool. But like I said, like when you leave off of 5 and 6, it's kind of hard to match that actual energy. So seven, like I said, I'm not mad at seven at all, but like it didn't match the energy of 5 and 6. And like I said, that story, like I said, I get where they were trying to go with the twist, and they were trying to build with this one. They were trying to build into um, season 8, of who's going to actually take the throne, kind of like, going back into where we are now with this story. Somebody is the rightful heir, but they don't feel like this person is deserving of the heir. And if the
Right.
secret comes out, this is where, or this is who it's going to go into. And like I said, it's just like, kind of like how you felt about the boys. It's like they wrote themselves into a situation where it's going to be hard to get them out of, or a situation where it just really doesn't make sense. And that's what I felt like 7 and 8 was to me, uh, on there. Like I said, that the episode when they was fighting, or whenever they got stuck on the ice with the dragon, like you had cool moments, but like nah, they didn't. It didn't hit like those, like season 6. Like after Cersei blew up the church, her son, like they had like 8 different events happen in one episode, and they were all major at one time, and that's how they ended the season. Like, bro, yeah, it's just kind of hard to live up to that at that point.
Man, I thought season 7 had some dope moments. You ain't like the Ed Sheeran cameo in season 7? No? Oh, my bad.
No.
But nah, even the moment with the dragon, with the White Walkers, they were stuck on the ice, and Danny came and saved. I thought that was fire. But I'm not a day one like my good friend Chaz, but I was really heavily invested into it. And a lot of people was trashing season 7 and 8. I'm just sitting here like it could have been better, like certain deaths and everything. Maybe it could have been like Cersei. I feel like she should have had a way worse death. Different things like that. If you want to nitpick, but I enjoyed season 7 and 8 a lot. So it wasn't as, I don't know, as bad as people made it out to be. Jazz enjoyed it too. Stay with me.
Jazz enjoyed it too. But no,
Yeah,
like, yes, I am a day one Thrones watcher. Love Thrones.
it's
Definitely one of my
fine.
favorite TV shows. But when they were able to get that dragon out of that ice
The
and
White
bring that
Walkers.
motherfucker back to life, and I believe, no, that's not where it ended. I think that was episode 9. That's how episode 9 ended from season 7, to where you saw the fucking White Walkers bring that dragon back to life. And I'm sitting here like, how do you have an army and a dragon? And it's just, how do you defeat them? And so, and at the end of season 7, you see them bring the wall down.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, bruh,
bro, it's
like,
fire. And there's moments like that, like just encapsulate the whole Game of Thrones. Like you got those epic moments. Speaking of moments, Jason, what would it maybe some of? Okay, I'll say top 3 moments from the Game of Thrones series. Do you have like a top 3?
Top 3 moments. Of course, Ned dying was big because, like I said, I wasn't, because like even though I watched it outside of everybody else, like that was like a shocking moment for me. When he got it, when he died. Another moment that was big. The Sons of Tarpey when they turned uh
Daenerys.
on Danny,
Yeah.
and the crew. And my old guy got killed. That was like a fucked up. That was a moment. Another like I really wanted the Battle of the Bastards to be a moment, but it wasn't. Like the gift. The gift sells you on something different than what the actual story gives you. So no, for me personally. But Oberyn getting his head busted, that was a fucking moment.
yeah.
That was a moment for me as well. That was I was not expecting. I knew something was gonna happen, but how they
Yeah.
fucking got him out of here, I was
He
like,
was
bruh.
he was
Too
talking too
cocky.
much shit. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, stop talking. Like,
Just
stop
end it.
talking.
Look, she was like Tyrion, just like just end them. But yeah, I don't like the little dig at Battle of the Bastards. That episode is amazing. So I don't appreciate that, Jason. I know you're not
It
heavily
wasn't.
invested in Thrones, but you gotta put some
It
respect on
wasn't.
that episode.
Y'all not
It
gonna
wasn't.
fight.
It wasn't that.
Y'all not
It
gonna
wasn't
fight.
that. It
He's
wasn't that.
he's
It wasn't.
he's Ramsey.
It wasn't.
So
It wasn't that. It wasn't that great. Like no, I wouldn't be Ramsey because I
nah,
wouldn't be running. I would have definitely been on the field, jacking, knocking niggas out, killing
mm,
motherfuckers. I wouldn't have been in the top trying to run and stay out the way of the fight. So, but John to try to go in there with as least amount of men he had to still try to make that fight work. It goes to show his heart. But nah,
nah, that was
I
fire.
won't.
I want to save Jazz for last because I know she got some fire moments coming up. My favorite moments from Thrones, the Hard Home episode, when of course they go to try to warn the wildlings and they're not hearing it, and then they finally see firsthand what the threat is, and all the White Walkers just come in and just wreak havoc. And then at the end, you can see my background, the Night King. He's slaughtered everybody. He's just like, yo, this is what I can do. He raises up everyone he's killed to build for his army. That was crazy for me. Of course, Battle of the Bastards, we already talked about. That was probably one of my favorite episodes. I remember seeing that. Jason, I don't care about your eye rolls, man. Like, chill. Uh, when I first seen that episode, it was just epic all around. I thought that was just an amazing episode. And it was like the certain scene where we didn't know how John was gonna get out. Like, I didn't think he was gonna die because he died previously, so I didn't think he was gonna die. But just that whole thing and like feeling of claustrophobic, like he was underneath all the bodies and everything. That was just crazy to me. And probably I don't want to say the Red Wedding because that's like a little cliche. And I actually saw that before I was invested in Thrones. And then,
Of course you did, Chris.
what is that?
Right.
Well,
That's
first of
on
all,
brand. That's on brand for you
It
to
you act
watch
like
is.
something that you're not even
nah,
watching,
I didn't see
and
it on
then
purpose. It was
yeah.
just on HBO one day and I was like, oh, what's going on? That was it. Probably Cersei blowing up the set because I think that was like 2 seasons of build up. Everything that's going on, of course, with Marjorie and her son turning against her. She had lost her kids, just everything. So it was pretty much we saw Cersei being down, being vulnerable. Of course, she had the Walk of Atonement, and that was the first time we really saw her break. And then, just to see her rise back up. I hated Cersei. She wasn't, she was a villain. She was very hateable. But in that moment, it was just great how the payoff of everything with that whole storyline worked. Jazz, what is your favorite Thrones moments? If you got more than three, you can because I know you really love this show. But just
No, so
She
I was
better
about to.
get. She got to get in her bag. She need to get in her bag. She need to say a moment that I'm not like not even thinking about in this situation.
So the fact that Chris just ate completely off the plate. So I'm just like, I don't want to say something that Chris said already. So I got to say something that hasn't been said. So I'm just going through my list.
because I thought you was gonna eat, so I had to, I wanted to give you the
Right.
last spot. Yeah,
As you go
It
first.
sound like
So,
you and Jazz had the same moments.
well, I probably got a few more, but I was just like, Chris definitely took the ones that got the star around them.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that wasn't mentioned Joffrey's wedding. I was not expecting that. And I'm kind of embarrassed of how excited I was for that entire episode because seeing him suffer, he did not have a quick death. He had a slow death. He was in pain. And I was cheering the entire time, which is probably crazy for me to be cheering for the death of this kid. But Jeffrey was fucking trash.
are we really excited that you're cheering for kids' deaths?
Normally, I just be like, fuck them kids. But like Joffrey, like, I was just like, yes. I was another moment that I'll just mention moments that were not mentioned, which Chris mentioned a lot of them. I'm going to say Ramsay's death. The fact that he was fed to his own dogs that hadn't eaten. And the fact that Sansa was the one that was right there speaking to him in that cell, watching that happen. Because if you think about all the shit that Sansa has been through, and regardless, I don't care what anybody says, there's no character in the entire Game of Thrones series that went through more shit than Sansa. You can say Theon, no. Theon, no. Sansa went through the most shit. You hated her, you thought she was a spoiled ass little bitch, but sis went through a lot of fucked up shit. So like that shit, like all the shit she went through was just crazy. Another one that I was not expecting that was not mentioned, but y'all did eat a lot off the plate, so y'all left me the fucking scraps. Thank you. Was Marcella's death. As she's speaking to Jamie, like, oh, you my uncle and my daddy. and seeing the blood come down her nose, and you realize that this bitch was definitely poisoned by the sand snakes, which is what they were trying to do the entire time.
Yeah.
Which also fulfilled the prophecy that Cersei was told when she was a kid, like, all of your children will die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you will outlive your children. So Cersei kind of knew like her kids was gonna die before her, but I guess that's why she was trying to get her daughter back to King's Landing. But that didn't work.
Sorry.
So, and then I'm not gonna say Arya killing the Night King because I wasn't a fan of that.
I think Jon should have killed the Night King.
I mean, you could have that debate, sure.
Oh, you don't want to have a Thrones debate, Jess.
What is our debate on?
You pick the topic.
Here we go. Get the fuck out of here, Jason. You got anything?
Right.
No, like Chris. What you got? Like, you already know how I feel about Thrones.
I'm giving you the floor. You ducking the smoke. You don't want to debate me in Thrones.
What is it? What you doing? A hypothetical debate or something?
I don't know what he's doing.
Anything.
It sounds like he's just talking shit.
Yeah, I'm talking shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much like
Exactly. So let me ask y'all a question. Like, in Thrones, what is your top 3 underrated characters from all 8 seasons?
So, Jason, you want to go first?
He don't. He look like he about to fall asleep. So, Chris, you go ahead.
This nigga, he doesn't
underrated. Underrated is kind of hard to say because I don't even remember half of these motherfuckers, and they had like 1,000 of them. But if I had to pick, it would be whoever that guy was. Davos. That was Stannis' right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It would be him. I don't feel like he was the wildling, the leader of the wild. Well, he wasn't a leader, but he was like second in command. I felt like whoever he was, John's like right hand man when John got with the wildlings. Who was he?
Oh, you talking about dude, the ginger?
Yeah, him.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
Yeah, him. Whoever that guy was, is probably number 2. And as far as underrated outside of him, I don't know if the guy that was in love with Cersei, not Cersei, but Dany counts as underrated. But I enjoyed his character. He got the grayscale.
Jorah.
I thought she was talking about her side hoe that she left behind.
Nah, I wouldn't rate him. Hey, underrated is tough, but I would have to say Grey Worm. He became more prominent as the series went on, but I thought he was just dope. He was just so mad loyal, and then they gave him a lot more characterization later on. Then, of course, his relationship with Miss Sunday. Miss Sunday, there we go. Her. Hey, it's tough. There's so many. Oberyn. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you would consider him underrated, but I thought in that one season that he was in, he was just very intriguing. He was just very fluid. But just his fight scene, I wasn't expecting him to put up as good of a fight against the Mountain. So when I saw that whole thing, even though he got his head crushed, that was dope too. And then who else? I would only call him underrated because he was only in the first season. And I thought, before I went into the show, I thought he was going to be like a super major character. But Khal Drogo, he was one of my favorite characters. Even though he was only in one season, I thought just him, just displaying who he was, especially when he killed Dany's brother, that whole scene, I was like, yeah, that's that guy. But yeah, Jazz, who's your top 3?
I'm about to kill y'all. So I'm gonna say my first one is Brienne. Brienne was loyal. Brienne was out here handling business. Brienne is a reason why Sansa was able to even escape Ramsay's guards. So Brienne definitely underrated, not mentioned a lot. So I definitely appreciate Brienne. I'm gonna say Lady Lyanna Mormont. She appeared in season, I think the end of season 7, going into season 8.
The little girl.
She was a little girl that talked.
Yeah.
All that shit. So like, I enjoyed her character. I hate how she died, but she died in battle. So
It was better.
R.I.P. to the OG. I mean, I was just like, damn, y'all really killed her off. And then I'm gonna say Braun. Braun was in Tyrion's corner the entire time till he no longer could be, and so then he got into Jaime's corner. So, and I'm shocked that he survived as long as he did. But Braun, I feel like is definitely an underrated character.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm surprised you said Lady Mormont. How you feel about kids? That shocked me.
She was a thug. I can't say.
Nah, I feel you. It's funny watching this show, like rewatching in my rewatch. I completely understand Jazz's detestment of kids because some of these kids, some of these kids was crazy bad, bro.
The little girl, later mama, she reminded me of the little girl from Black Phone.
I get that. Oh, Chris, you haven't seen that?
Nah, I still gotta watch that.
But the little girl from Black Phone, she
yeah.
She's super good.
I definitely see that, Jason. See, Chris, what happens when you don't watch it? You don't know what the reference is.
That's not on the list, so calm down.
But wait.
It is Jason in October.
It is.
We're in August, sir. Don't come for me.
We're trying to get the Halloween. We're trying to get the Halloween month together, brother. Come with us. Meet us.
If you would have said something like Shazam, I would have been on point.
Ain't nobody listening to that. What the fuck?
Shazam, yeah. Speaking of, Jazz, you seen Lighthouse yet?
I told you I couldn't find no links.
Oh, so I didn't.
We had 20.
Hold on, I'm gonna text you right now. I got you.
Go ahead and send me.
It's all good. It's all good.
We're not doing anything illegal. Nothing illegal here. But nah,
I'm doing it illegally.
No, he's not. He's kidding.
That
was a jokey joke.
Good one, Jason.
We're going back to the Black Scramble Box days, baby. Yeah, we illegally watching whatever we get into.
Listen, man, wasn't Game of Thrones like one of the most pirated TV shows of all time? So I guess it's on brand.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I read that before.
I watched it legally.
Oh, good for you. I didn't, but
I did too. I watched it legally. I watched it on HBO. I definitely watched it.
Yeah.
Well, whenever HBO Max came out,
right? I watched it. Yeah.
I watched it before HBO Max.
We know Jazz shared day one. Yeah,
That's true.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Do y'all have any expectations for House of Dragons?
I'm hoping we get a big war. I don't know. Yeah, but I say that because we didn't really get that in season 1 of Thrones. I don't want to compare it too much, but I feel like this is a new show and we have like an established story already. So I feel like they can go bigger sooner. So I want to see like something like that. Like we had, like Blackwater, of course, the Battle of Winterfell, Battle of the Bastards, stuff like that. I want to see an epic episode like that in the first season. And then I'm also curious how they're going to continue their theme from Game of Thrones of episode 9.
Jason.
What is wrong with Jason?
I was gonna let him get his shit off. I was gonna let him get his shit off.
The show hasn't even started, and you already talking about we need a big war battle in the first season. No, we don't. It's not nothing is established right now. Literally nothing is established. I know that's your expectation, but fuck your expectation. No, we need to allow them to establish a story, and then we can have some kind of big battle. We don't even know we barely know the conflict. Like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be some snake shit first, and then like some battle possibly is going to come out. Like eventually it's gonna play out. But like in the first season, you on a war, like a war of what? Since it's already known and established, what war is it that you wanna see happen in the first season?
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Targaryens kill each other?
No, like anything. We don't know who like that could oppose the Targaryens. It could be another family that we haven't even been mentioned in Game of Thrones that could pop up. Things like that.
I see right now, it's Targaryen against Targaryen. Like a jealous, you got that's what I feel like. That's what the story is showing.
And then you have Valerians. You have Valerians.
The Valerians too.
Because Valerian was the type of knife that can kill the White Walkers, right?
Valerian steel, yeah.
But Valerian is a person now. Allegedly.
Because you remember. Well, I know you during my rewatch. You have Dany talking to Miss Sunday, and she was speaking in Old Valerian.
Mm-hmm.
So they also have a language. So I think we'll definitely get a good history of the Valerians. But Chris, you asking for a war?
I can't be excited.
You could, but I feel like that's a wild expectation to have because I don't think this show is going to be done in 3 years. I think this show will probably be done in at least 5 or more. So they're going to build on the story. They're going to try to get you with the story. And of course, if you are a fan of Game of Thrones, the fact that we didn't really get a war until the end of season 2 of Thrones. And that was fucking Blackwater. And hell, that was a bunch of ships blowing up.
You saying that like Blackwater was trash or something?
No, because Blackwater visually was fire.
Yeah.
Because with the
Is that the one when Joffrey got scared?
well, he was scared the whole time because he's a bitch. But but you have the wildfire, which I also would be so excited if we get a callback of that in the new series as well. But yeah, Chris, you probably won't get a battle. You'll probably get some trifling ass shit and some like, oh, this person done fucked up. And I think it's gonna be a lot of time jumps. But if you're looking for a war, nah, my guy.
Well, there goes my excitement. Thanks, guys. But episode 9. Yeah. But episode 9 as well, we saw the theme from Game of Thrones. Episode 9 is always the big episode where, something pops off. So see if they continue that as well. But yeah. Jazz, what about you?
Let me see. I was going to say, I already asked about your expectations. Since we always ask who our favorite characters were, y'all top 3 most hated. And you cannot include Joffrey or Ramsay.
Okay.
Or Walter Frey.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I'm Walter Frey's whatever. Me first or Jason? Jason probably don't even remember no characters.
Oh, he just called you out like you did him 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
come on, Dory.
I mean, we just keeping it. We're just gonna keep it a book. I don't. So I would probably stick with main people. We definitely gonna put Cersei in that list of most hated. She made it easy to hate her. Jamie never had a redemption arc for me personally. So I'm gonna keep it with I didn't fuck Jamie. And the last is probably Bran the Broken. It seemed like a pointless ass, weak ass character that they tried to give him a thing, but yeah, I didn't really care for the Bran character at all. So yeah, that's the other one.
So Jazz, didn't we have a bonus episode? I think it was Comic-Con where we asked our favorite Thrones characters or something like that.
My favorite can be the most hated. That's why we like that's why we like villains, Chris.
Which villains y'all like?
Yeah, because you hate Cersei, but she's one of your top 3 favorite characters.
You said which villain do I like?
Which villain shows up in your top favorite villains, but also your top favorite characters?
Probably Green Goblin, easily.
Chris, do you have one?
I'm not fake like Jason.
Oh, damn! Why did I get secondhand embarrassment by that?
I'm fake because
this man says Cersei. He hates Cersei, but she was one of his top 3 characters ahead of
my
Arya.
reasoning for her being my favorite is because of the hate I had for this person. Like the fact that you can make me enjoy the character but also hate this person that's like elite. Like as far as when it comes to it, like she nothing about Cersei was likable, but like her playing that role was like, damn, I gotta give this person respect for how they moving and how they, carrying themselves. And it would have been dope. This really would have been dope to see her in that Thor movie. Just seeing, her playing kind of the same type of role, but they cut that piece out. But that's just me. Sometimes
you can watch her in 300. She was the wife of Gerard Butler's character.
Oh yeah, she was good in it too.
So she the actress is very good. So
have you seen 300, Jason?
I have.
Oh, okay. You shaking your head, so I ain't know if you seen
Chris
that.
was trying to come.
No, he was just shaking his head. No, he
definitely trying me today. Huh?
Nah.
What's wrong?
Because you dissing Thrones. You dissing Thrones in the midst of my rewatch.
You feeling yourself today, huh, sir?
Yeah.
You need to calm your head down.
Oh.
Yo.
Jason said you better cool the fuck off.
Nah, Jason was top 3 hated. Yeah, hated character. Lysa Tully. She was Cat's sister.
The one they got
thrown through
pushed in the hole.
Yeah. I hated her character.
The sky thing.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I hated her. Sansa, I didn't like Sansa at all. Sorry, Jazz.
Don't
I
I'm not mad
couldn't.
at that.
apologize to me.
I couldn't stand Sansa. I know she was a kid. I get it. Her begging to marry Joffrey, and then like just different. I just didn't like her. Who else? Oh no, I can't say it. Probably Rickon. Can I say Rickon? Sorry,
You can
he
say
wasn't in it.
whoever.
He wasn't in it enough. I just felt like he was kind of pointless, and then he didn't zigzag. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So I just thought that was
Would
stupid.
the zigzag have really helped
Yes, Ramsey
in
would have
that
missed
situation?
shots.
How was he? How do you zigzag for arrows when the part? You know, have you ever shot an arrow? Probably not. Have you ever shot an arrow?
Yes, I have. You tried it. I have shot an arrow. Fuck you.
You probably did. You was in that movie Prey too. I heard
Look,
chasing the.
Go watch it. Movie is fucking fire. Prey, the prequel to Predator. So anyway, what were you saying, Jason? If
When
you
shooting an arrow, you have to lead. Like it's kind of like, I mean, it's like a gun, but it's not. But you have to kind of lead the person. So when he was shooting the arrow, him zigging wasn't. I mean, he couldn't have predicted what the fuck it was gonna fall.
So you're saying if you are running from somebody who has an arrow, you gonna run straight, parallel, or are you going to run in zigzag? Which one do you think is harder?
I'm going to try to zigzag, but that the inevitable can still happen. If he's lead, because the whole thing is
which one is giving you a better chance to survive?
Right.
Possibly zigzagging.
Possibly?
Zigzagging.
My nigga, ain't no possibly. Zigzagging is going to get you a better chance. Are we? Is this a debate right now?
How about this, Jazz? How about you give me some arrows, you get outside, and you zigzag, and we see if I hit you.
My nigga, realistically, we can do that shit. Cause I don't think your damn target is as good as Ramsey to even try to fucking hit me. Compared to like if you can shoot straight. Are you sitting up here and telling me?
Unlike Chris with his non-swimming ass, I used to shoot arrows, and like it's not like a
so are you saying like, shooting zigzag, something that's running zigzag and something that's running parallel is the same? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just feel like it wouldn't have mattered in that situation. Him running like this, because the way he was shooting the arrows, it was, I mean, that shit, it was coming regardless. It wasn't like he could have avoided it.
Jason,
he was gonna probably run into one of them motherfuckers trying to zigzag across. Jason, he's gonna get hit.
If you were in that situation, are you running zigzag or are you running in parallel?
I'm running towards the person shooting at me personally. I'm not trying to run away from it.
My nigga, these are your only options.
You gonna take my options away?
No, because you're being difficult about this entire thing. Recon, like I don't even understand why we're having a discussion. This is a debate, just a debate. Jason is. That's what Jason is doing.
It's not a debate. No. I just said I don't feel like it would have mattered. That's all I think I said.
But hold on, let me ask you a question.
Because you lead the person.
If you are in that situation and you cannot run towards the person that is shooting at you, are you running in parallel or in zigzag?
I'm gonna try to zigzag, Jazz. If I had to,
my nigga, try is not an option. You can either zigzag or you run in parallel straight line.
She took my options away, Chris.
Get the fuck out of here.
I am a thinker when it comes to pressure situations,
for no fucking reason.
You asked me a question. If I'm in battle and a person is shooting at me, yes, I'm going to do my best.
So why the fuck are we even having this conversation if you were gonna do zigzag anyway? Jazz, when I said he could have done zigzag, and how many zigzag would have worked, but he would have chose zigzag.
No, Chris, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show you the fallacies in her argument, Jazz. At how many yards are you doing the zigzag? At every how many yards are you zigzagging?
Bro, my nigga, you watch the same shit that I seen.
Yeah, I didn't ask you that. And if you are running, and how many yards are you zigzagging, Jazz? Because you're not going to be doing this the entire time. Because nigga, guess what, Jazz?
My nigga, I'm gonna go some fucking yards. I'm gonna go some fucking yards. And
how many?
My nigga,
you going? How many are you going? You going 5 or 10? Are you
going? Let me go 5. Let me go 5 and then go. No, hold on.
Every 5.
Jason, let me go 5, and then I'm gonna go 10, and then I'm gonna go another 5, and then I'm gonna go a 5 again, and then I'm gonna go a 10. Because I gotta trick the motherfucker with the arrows. What? My nigga. Because you're not gonna be able to figure out what I'm about to do next.
Boom.
There is
Jazz,
no fucking way.
You're
You
not
gonna sit up here and say
he wasn't watching. He wasn't watching where he was shooting the arrows from.
bro,
So
blame
how the
that
fuck is he
motherfucker
going
for
to
not
know?
knowing what to fucking go zigzag. Jason, you sitting up here saying you try to cap for him why why going straight wouldn't have mattered if he would have went zigzag. Zigzag would have saved his fucking life. You would have went zigzag. Let me ask you this.
No, you have the game is possibilities. The possibility of me surviving would have been better with me. You?
No, I'm saying, so if you say, Jason, fuck you.
You put Jazz on 100 yard. You put Jazz on a 100-yard football field.
Focus, my nigga, focus.
20 yards.
Jason,
20 yard line. Boom.
Jason.
Damn.
Jason, fuck you and focus. You got this motherfucker out here. You mean to tell me you even said it yourself that you would go zigzag, because if zigzag gives you a 70% chance of surviving compared to running in a straight line, which is 25%, my nigga, which one are you fucking doing? Lie to me. Go ahead.
I said I'm a zigzag.
I know you did, so I don't even know why the fuck we having this conversation. Because we even started with this shit. No, you trying to be the villain for no fucking reason on a terrible fucking argument. That's all it is.
Because I can just see Jazz shuffling her feet.
My nigga, you look, Jason.
Imagine Jazz out there talking about Jazz out there getting the goddamn, getting the goddamn. Jazz gonna be out there.
I'm a fucking bobblehead in that bitch trying to survive. Look, turn some music on. We out here like.
She done a little Kim dance trying to dodge arrows. That's crazy.
That's what the fuck I'm doing.
And it's not like he had 3. He was shooting them everywhere. He was just shooting one arrow at a time.
Because this nigga was going in parallel. Like you going in a straight line.
I need to watch the episode again, because I promise you, whenever he seen the arrows, he changed his
He did.
He was playing with him.
That's all he was fucking doing, because he was running in a straight line. Hey. If you were doing zigzag, even though granted, zigzag, you're putting a lot more energy running in zigzag. But I don't give a fuck how much energy I'm putting into my run when I'm trying to survive. Nigga, like, even if, let me not put too much energy in this run. Oh, I'm about to die anyway. So like, what the fuck? So like, Jason, we just spent 10 fucking minutes on some shit you agreed on in the fucking first place. Like, why? Because you want to be difficult. Go ahead.
You said him zigzagging would have saved his life.
It would have.
No, it wouldn't have.
Okay, so why are we back on this? Jason, if running straight is a 25% on a fucking test and a 70, which is zigzag, is a score on a fucking test.
Jazz.
Oh, no, let me help you. Let me help you.
Jazz, no.
Bruh.
Probability doesn't give it. Probability means you have a better chance at doing it. That doesn't mean it's not a test. You have it's a 70% chance you may survive versus a 25. You want to take the chance of you surviving, but that does not mean you will not die. That doesn't change the fact that you may die.
Bruh. We're speaking, of course, on hypotheticals, but the percentage of surviving these fucking hypotheticals.
And in that situation, let's do this. No, because Jazz, because based on your probability, if he would have began zigzagging, guess who would have died instead?
Would it have been Rickon?
It would have been John.
But it wouldn't have been Rickon.
It would have been John.
Wouldn't have been Rickon.
And then it would have been if he was
hey,
he would have and they're gonna, because he ain't on no horse doing no motherfucking zigzag.
Hey, no, John can't do that shit. But my thing is, you could have you would have had a better chance of surviving. Now, Rickon, he don't really even know John that well, if we keeping it a buck, because that little motherfucker, like, he was a little kid when John was around.
It's his brother.
He was
don't do that shit, Chris. Don't do that. Oh, that's their brother. Last time you did that shit, you was completely wrong. Max wished death for that nigga for a whole season. So exactly. But no,
I feel like this is a different scenario.
Well, if you think about it, when Rickon, he was so much younger. I'm thinking about the books as well. So he was so much younger to where Bran and John were able to have a good. like I said in chat, I associate with a lot of people that read the book, so they gave that shit to me verbatim.
So you got secondhand knowledge. Got you.
Yes. This little motherfucker right here. That's why I was able to tell y'all about Lady Stark. In the book, she resurrected, walking around. She was Lady Stoneheart. Look it up, motherfuckers. So yes, but I don't even know where we at right now in this segment. Chris has been laughing the entire time.
I was just saying, Rickon, I didn't like him, but
She didn't like Rickon. So who did Jazz say hers?
no, we went left.
No idea. Yeah,
we
did.
We zigzagged.
Who was your most hated character, Jazz?
We zigzag. I am going to say the Sand Snakes. I'm going to say Robin, who was Sansa's cousin that was a bitch boy who destroyed her snow castle. And I'm going to say Theon / Reek. So.
Oh, I'm not mad at Theon. I get it. He redeemed himself a little bit, but
nah, fuck him. He deserved to die.
Well, who would have thought
redemption isn't always a path for everybody. Everybody can't be redeemed, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is true.
Even like with Jamie, like they they talk about the redeemer. He kind of revealed what him killing the king, the what is it?
The Mad King?
The Kingslayer?
He killed the king because the king was telling him to kill the kids and whatnot.
His father.
Huh?
Yeah, Jason, definitely. You sure you watched this show?
His father?
The Mad King wanted him to kill his father.
He wanted him to kill Tywin.
Because Tywin was teamed up with Robert to overthrow the capital. Don't ask questions, just know that what I'm saying is facts.
And I can vouch for that. She's great.
Are you looking this shit up? You looking it up right
now? Oh, you're talking about Chris.
No, I'm talking
about you're talking about you. I know.
No, she did. She shouldn't have thought that shit. Nah, you should have knew I wasn't looking that up.
I don't know. Your face seemed like you weren't like confident in what I was telling you. So,
but yeah, even with him killing the Mad King, there was no redeeming this guy for his actions throughout the actual show. From what we actually seen versus what we didn't see. But I feel like that should be the end of the actual show. The Mad King coming to rise.
Yeah, I can see that too.
That should be how the show ends.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad if they show the Mad King's death.
I don't think they'll get that far. I think they'll actually cut it off before Robert's Rebellion. Because I think to keep that mystique of Robert's Rebellion being one of the things that was described in Game of Thrones, and to use the information that the characters provided for you to make your own interpretations. But I don't think it'll get to Robert's Rebellion. If it does, I'll blame it on them just trying to get money.
I mean, money's the name of the game. So
it is, but I just like, we don't need to see it. Because that's why a lot of people...
Why not?
Yeah, I kind of want to see Robert's Rebellion play out.
It's just, I guess, the mystique of hearing from one series describing events that happen instead of seeing it, to where you kind of create your own interpretation of like when you're reading a book.
I see that.
So that's what I think the mystery of it will be really dope.
So you're not on board with this Jon Snow show neither, right?
I don't even know what that shit is even about. Like,
do you have to?
Yeah, this man Jason.
Question, Jazz. You don't need any backstory. Are you on board with a Game of Thrones show about one of your favorite characters, Jazz? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Just making sure we keeping it consistent across the board here. Chris, what about you? You ready for this Jon Snow show?
I wasn't aware of it, but yeah, I'm excited. That'd be cool.
You wasn't aware that he was making the show?
I was not.
They're making another spinoff show about Jon Snow actions after when they're going to get away from the thrones.
He's at the night watch again.
Yeah, it's just kind of like.
And it's not a threat of the White Walkers. No, I'm not excited for this shit. No.
I'm excited. I'm interested to see what stories they can tell.
He gonna find another wildling to fall in love with, maybe fuck in a cave.
Hey, man.
I mean, if you haven't read the book, you don't know where the story can go, you know?
I don't think Jon Snow has his own book.
Jason
I
is
mean,
Jason is
I
trolling.
know he is. I know he
we
is.
just talking
He's
about
big.
I'm literally talking about just the
Nah, shut the
actual
fuck
book
up.
itself. Like you can
Jon
go. I mean,
Snow
you
ain't
can
got
go
his
there.
own shit.
You telling me there's nowhere else you can go with Jon Snow's story? Like that you don't know where you can go. You can't be in no more battles, no more wars. People won't just keep on colluding and causing hell in different places.
I guess if you think about it, well, let me ask this: when does his show start filming? Has
I
that been
don't know yet.
released?
I
So
don't know that part yet.
I guess if you have a situation to where if you can tie in House of Dragons to things that could be referenced in Jon Snow series, that could be fire. But that's a lot of connecting. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if the writer has a book for Jon. I don't remember seeing anything where he does. So it'll just be the writers and creators that's making it and not something from a book.
Yeah, an original story.
You know, the way you feel right now is probably how I felt when Power ended. I know you stopped watching it after Ghost died. But
Spoiler alert, by the way.
yeah, it was
Nobody knew
already
that
a
but Jason.
spoiler alert. Uh, oh shit, you didn't finish it?
You just said she didn't finish it.
Well, no,
I was
I finished Power, but nobody knows that I stopped watching Power after Ghost died.
most people stopped watching it after that. I felt like shit. But when they did Ghost, the TV show about Tariq, like same exact thing. Like, what are they going to follow? Where are they going with this actual story? It's not in the book, but that's that show is
Was
on par
Power
with
a
Power.
book?
It wasn't. I'm just saying. It was. I'm just saying. Like it wasn't. I said it wasn't based on the book or nothing. Like Game of Thrones. So like your whole thing is there's nowhere else for them to go. I felt the same exact way with Ghost, but it's plenty more to go because we still telling the story of a kid who has to grow up and dealing with the consequences of his actions in the previous thing, which is same thing with John. He got banned because he killed the queen, even though he was the rightful heir to the actual seat. So with this one, son kills his father. He has to go to college, and he can't get the money from his dad's will unless he finishes college. So it's just like there's a unique way to spin the actual story. So I feel like it'll be worth it.
So Jon going to college?
John is going into beyond the wall, so we don't know where he's going. Honestly,
I
That's
mean,
why
maybe he could travel to different places we haven't seen in Game of Thrones.
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
idea, Jazz. You hate. That's a good idea. I
I
will watch
mean,
that.
it could be good,
the
but
best person on the show, you don't want to watch them have a spin-off show, or do you feel like it's just a case? You feel like it's just
I
a
would
cash
rather
grab at
see
this point?
Arya than Jon if we keeping it a book. Like Arya is like how hers ended. I'm more curious about where Arya is going than Jon going to the north because okay, we don't have the White Walkers, we don't have the Wildlings. Like nothing out of the 8 seasons of Thrones was referenced farther north than those two groups. So I'm just like, what? Or the children. So I mean, anything that we probably see from Jon, it had to be something that was already referenced. But I'm just like, I'm not sure. Hopefully, he's not still on his loyal bullshit of like, oh no, I don't want to sleep with this girl because she might be my mama. That bullshit or anything like that. I don't even remember what
That's a
Sam
great
is.
reason not to be just fucking people out of fear, who may be your cousin, your
But
mama,
his
or your
but
auntie.
but his mother is obviously not from the north because his father went south to fight the war. So obviously, any hoes in the north, they're not your mama.
See,
And
Jason didn't know that.
No,
obviously
it doesn't
not.
I
matter
could
because
tell.
he was still. It didn't matter because he was still fucking daddy. Beyond knowing they related.
Well, there's another thing where it's like, so you don't mind fucking your cousin, but
I mean, that's
what?
what they were doing back in the day. That was
Well, yeah,
bam,
Targaryens.
bam. Thank you, ma'am. Keep that dragon energy in there.
That dragon energy.
That's fire.
Dragons of fire. Yay for you.
Thank you.
Weirdo.
Jazz ain't give me my props. That's hate.
I say hey for both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot of backstabbing and like time jumps in this series to where we probably will not know what the fuck is going on to like episode 7.
I guess.
So if that does happen, come back to episode 10 of the pod and be like, damn, Jazz was right. I
But
know
if it
y'all
don't
won't do
happen,
that
we can
though.
always go back and say Jazz was damn, she was wrong. Per
But then
usual.
again,
Oh no. Oh no.
Jason, not you. Whoo, man, look.
We were almost
got-
home, y'all.
We
You trying to
was. We got 2 open debates where your ass was loud and wrong. But we gonna leave that alone.
We don't.
Bars.
There was no there aren't 2 debates. There's only one recorded. The other one doesn't count, Jazz. But we're not going back into the DC Marvel conversation. The zigzag thing, we can't. There's not really. You can't. There. You know, as far
There's
as when
not
it
even
comes
a debate
to
because you said you would rather do zigzag. So you are already on my side in the first place. You'll go back and listen to it and be like, damn, I was on Jazz's side, but I just wanted to debate. You will go back and then I'm just gonna smile like, I know.
You're not, because it'll never come up again ever in life.
Oh, this ain't
It'll
getting
never
edited
come
out.
back. If you're saying that, you know.
Oh, this because of Rick, because I picked Rick and Stark.
That's it. That's all it was.
That nigga zigzagging, huh? I bet. Let me get him right here, because if he sees him on a zigzag, right in the face, he would be fucked up.
I just want to ask, like, would y'all rather run in parallel, straight line, or zigzag? Anybody is like zigzag.
Yeah, definitely running zigzag.
Like, what are you doing?
You're perpendicular.
Jason is
This
getting ate
guy.
up by fucking zombies. He's getting ate up by dinosaurs. He getting ate up by all the motherfuckers.
I'm not. I'm surviving, Jazz. I've told you this. I am getting down. I am a sprinter. I've never been caught by a dog or a person. I'm out of here.
All right.
So,
say so.
so that was eventful. But yeah, House of Dragons, of course. Looking forward to it. Was a good though podcast bonus episode. Check it out. Of course, as we always say, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that good stuff. Appreciate all the support. And we will see y'all later. Deuces.